Alrighty.
Okay, so what you want? What you're saying? The psychological.
The drive and why people
Why do we want it?
not
The different reasons why people.
why you're davening for it, not that you're davening, not how davening for it works
Or why you should be davening for it.
or shouldn't.
Or how you should.
See, let me tell you. Let me start you. This is a very important yesod in davening. I don't know if I might have said this last time, but it's a different. It's a different
The
word.
last one's not public, so it's fine.
It's a different word than last time. I'll say last time's also. It'll come in somewhere, but this is a different yesod. Very important yesod. One of the big questions you get always is, does Hashem answer tefillas? So there's two main, key of answers. Does Hashem answer tefillas? What are the two main answers?
Sometimes the answer is no.
Right. He always answers tefillas, and sometimes he says no. What?
Saves it for your kids and
Which
grandkids.
I don't agree with that at all.
What does that? He saves it for your kid?
Kids and grandkids
You
down the
save
line.
up schlisim,
Okay,
like
that's a third one. What?
So what are the two basic ones? Either
The two
the answer
basic
is
ones
no,
are he always answers your tefillah. Sometimes he says no,
or it's not
or
really
he
good for you.
gives you everything that you need, but not everything you want. So my answer is that Hashem always answers your tefillahs. He always says yes, never says no. He gives you what you want, what you need. As long as you daven for it, you get it. That's my answer.
Nice.
Okay, so what's the catch?
Where do I sign?
What?
Where do I sign?
What do you sign? So why?
Provided you daven only for what you actually need and deserve.
My answer is
you don't kick it back.
What?
You don't kick it back.
No, so that's a different word than last time. I'm going to say a different word. This word is, I'll stick that in afterwards. This word is that nobody ever davens. You never daven. We go to Hashem, bring Mashiach, I want world peace, and punish all the Rishayim, all the Tzaddikim, and it should be Geula. And Hashem is sitting there like going, I told you could ask whatever you want, and tell me what you want. And I want Mashiach. Stop it. That's not what you want. I know what you want. We both know what you want. You go, and the guy goes, what are you talking about? I want Mashiach. Stop it with the Mashiach. That was Mashiach you were looking at in the showroom? Oh, that? Yeah. Because that's what you want. He goes, I'm allowed to ask for that? I told you, tell me what you want. You tell me Mashiach. You want that red Lamborghini. Like, just say you want a red Lamborghini. Like, be honest. You tell me you davened? You said you want Mashiach. That's what you want. You liar. He goes, okay. Hashem, can I have a red Lamborghini? And then Hashem goes, you liar. You don't want a red Lamborghini. Because what do you mean? You told me I could ask her? I told you that I'll give you whatever you want, whatever you asked for, but you didn't ask me. You said you want Mashiach. You want the Lamborghini. Then you say you want a Lamborghini. Nobody wants a Lamborghini.
Attention?
What do you really want?
Attention.
You want a little respect, a little honor, a little kavod. That's all you. So why didn't you say you want kavod? Why are you hiding behind the red Lamborghini? Or you wouldn't even know what to do with it. I'm allowed to ask for kavod? Forget louder. Ask me what you want. You're a liar. You want to know why I didn't answer your tefillas? You haven't davened one word. You're a liar. Guy goes, okay, Hashem, can I have some kavod? And Hashem goes, you stupid liar. You want kavod? Nobody wants kavod. Who wants kavod? You want to, then you go badmouth me that I don't listen to tefillas. You haven't davened one word yet. First you said you want Mashiach. Then you're trying to get honest and say Lamborghini. Now you're trying to get honest and say kavod. You're still so far. Nobody wants kavod. What do you really want? No, you really want to be loved, but it's too vulnerable to be loved. To say you want love. Kavod is a very safe way. Kavod is like a, how do you say it? It's a non-vulnerable way
It's a
to be cared.
masculine love.
It's not really love. It's somebody who wants to be loved, but he can't. He wants the connection.
Third year connecting this
What?
year with last year.
And
We're
what?
gonna have to have a third episode connecting last year with this year.
Why?
Wasn't the men want respect or woman? I forget which one.
That was last year.
Okay, no. So I hear.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that doesn't fit.
One, yeah, so
Okay, fair. We have to reconcile.
That's a different shit.
Yeah, but let's answer it now. Let's figure it out. Right. Are both things true? A guy wants respect, not
love.
Well, some people have love and they just want they want a little cover.
Let's figure it out. Let's finish this first, and we'll come back. Okay? Let's finish this. So So how deep can you go? See, bottom line is, what am I answering? You know why Hashem doesn't answer tefillas? Because nobody in the world ever davened. We're so many layers of BS, like literally lying, bringing Mashiach. No one's saying what they really want. We protect ourselves in so many layers. We're afraid to even be vulnerable to Hashem. You can't even say what's on your mind. And I don't think even love is real. I think it's deeper. Somebody says, "Fine, Hashem, I want love." What does he really want? Trying so hard to be like.
This is legit though.
I know, but don't.
You missed like 7 in between.
But the legit isn't legit. We get real.
Because I'm also lying to myself.
Let's get real. Be real. Maybe love is real, but my inclination is to say that there's something. Love is really just a validation. Is you want to be good. You want to be good. And love means that people think I'm good. And it makes me feel wanted, wantable, desirable. I want to be important, valuable. I want to matter. Is that true? On some level? So everyone really should have the same. There's only one tefillah. That's a tefillah. You know? But what we're doing is, and this is related to what we said last time, I'm going to say it from a different angle, and they're going to both converge. Last time I said a different yesod of why Hashem doesn't answer tefillahs. I'm going to give you 2 different tefillahs. Analyze them. Tefillah number 1 is Hashem, I want, both for money. 2 tefillahs for money. Hashem, I want money. I'm going to tell you, no, I'm only going to give you one, and you tell me if this is the good one or the bad one. Hashem, please give me money. I just want it so that I don't have anything, I have no daigas, nothing to worry about, no pressures. I could literally live my life without all these distractions. I don't want to have to worry, I don't want to have to have pressure. I don't want it for any crazy typhus. I want just to have the nachas ruach and yishuv hadas, and I shouldn't have to be worried with distractions and pressures and worries and grief. That's why I want money. Is that a holy tefillah, or is that a bad tefillah?
Sounds good.
So my word is that we know what Hashem says to that tefillah. Oh, you want money, so you don't have to worry and have any pressure. I think you're mixing me up with Dr. Kevorkian. You know what that is? Dr. Kevorkian is the guy who did the assisted suicides. When you daven to Hashem because you don't want to have pressure,
Just get started.
when you daven to Hashem because you don't want to have pressure, so
No, it's good.
Comment in the comment section. Shaky hands.
okay, but I'm still going while we're talking, so we can. What are we saying? When you daven to Hashem, that you don't want to feel pressure, you want.
Again.
But you're asking Hashem to help you check out.
Yeah, so you don't have to.
Why should you want me? I created you.
Somewhat low. Yeah, more.
It's the same idea. It's the same person talking.
Which of those 15 cameras is the one I should be looking at?
It's fine. Just pick any.
Just don't focus and look at all of them at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So someone spin it. I have no problem. You guys are more than welcome. Everyone, weigh in.
That's what I'm saying. There
we go.
Zooming out.
Thank you.
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's not in frame.
It's supposed to be there.
Kind of major production.
Be
team.
held in one.
Can we put a link for aspirin for anyone who's checking this out?
Okay.
If you have any comments about the positioning, you can leave it in below.
All right. Let's get back on track. So what are we saying?
This tefillah is.
We're
like,
saying what's wrong with this
checking
tefillah?
out.
What's wrong with because this tefillah is checking? You know what a holy tefillah is?
It's good.
You're asking Hashem to help you retire. Hashem created you with a purpose. Hashem created you with a tachlis, with a purpose. To tell Hashem I want to retire or check out is asking Hashem to help you not exist. It's the opposite of tefillah.
Do that.
Yeah?
We totally lost you.
Yeah, like,
To cut a little bit of an
it's
interview.
like all the things I want to say would make this, that has to be a private share also. Like, I have to control myself.
We could restart it.
I have
Or just make a
all-
private-
How about
every
we stop
line-
it here? You go off the camera for 2
The
minutes.
lines that I was, all
Okay,
my,
we
li-
have-
my, like my first 5 lines are better than the share, but I can't say them because,
Okay.
I usually privately.
yeah. Okay, when the battery dies, I'll be able to tell you my lines.
The battery's not dying. It's an Android.
It's what?
It's an Android. The battery's not dying.
I have an Android. The battery dies every 5 minutes.
It's a dated one. Okay, private chair.
It's just
Private chair.
jealousy. You don't worry about it.
When I was in 7th grade, I had that phone.
Oh yeah?
That's it, Mata, you derailed it this time.
You're that young.
I'm in the clear.
This side was feeling lacking.
Should balance it out.
Oh, there you go. Try to limit the input.
Yeah.
Kitchen, this tefillah.
So what's wrong with this tefillah?
You're davening, you shouldn't need a daven anymore.
Not that you shouldn't know. That's not what it is. Not that you shouldn't need a daven. What are you davening for? I'm davening that Hashem should help me retire. You know what a holy tefillah is? What are you supposed to ask Hashem for what excites Hashem? Kaviyachol. I come to Hashem, I want money. Why? Give him a list of all the dreams you have and everything you want to accomplish. Then Hashem gets excited.
What are you asking for?
It doesn't matter. As
I
I
want to
told
sponsor
you.
Bati Midrashim so I can plaster my name
Stop
on it.
it! No, ask him for Mokai Mikna, Geld, money, anything.
that's
He
part of
wants to hear that there are people alive.
I have to do it a
Everyone is, the entire world is checking out. Even the people who want money don't want money. What do they want? They want no daigas. They want to stop feeling insecure.
It's the hammock schmooze.
Yeah, what separates holy and unholy is not money or Torah. People can learn Torah also as an escape. People can do money. What makes someone alive is, are you? That was my vote with the Meraglim, with the 2.5 tribes that you didn't want to hear the end. What was the vote? The vote is that as long as you're not scared, you're not running away. But the world works that when I see somebody running, my number one assumption is he's running away from something, not running towards something. That's how we are. We're all escaping. So you want to get Hashem excited? You come to him with a shopping list of things that you want and things you want to accomplish. Right? We spoke about the hammock schmooze, but did we do the positive side? Like we said, everything wrong with the hammock. What is a good dream? What was wrong with the hammock dream? Because the dream of a hammock is no bills, no bosses, no diapers, no traffic, no deadlines, no pressure, no cops, no parents, no kids, no rebbeim, no mashkichim, no shadchanim, no dates, no whatever, no grief, no worries, no hassle. That's an amazing dream. But it's zero. It's just a dream to escape. What's a positive dream?
There's an end.
What?
If all that to an end, so that I could learn.
You don't have to say
So
all
I
that.
could focus on what?
Everyone gets all religious. Forget the learning. Say
So
it
I
in
can
English.
accomplish what I'm actually here
You're
for.
brainwashed. You're totally brainwashed.
Whatever. Tell me some dreams.
So I can raise my kids. So I don't want to be busy with all that stuff.
Don't want to be busy with all that stuff is still a hammock.
So you should raise your kids so that they can...
I don't want to be busy paying bills and with this.
That's
So I
all-
can focus on my kids. So I can focus on my learning. So I can focus on my
You
advisor.
didn't say, but you're not really saying it. Even when you're describing the kids, and what you're describing that I don't want to be busy with the other things, so that I could do this. What's the this? Do we have a list of dreams? What are
I could be an
I gave
Oscar.
you a list of negative, getting rid of pain. What is a pleasure?
I want to be an Oskin. I want to be on
Forbes
what's
magazine.
no.
Why do you want to be an
That
Oscar?
too.
Hey,
Yes.
Forbes magazine. You got
There's
it.
no dream to be an Oscar.
Because Hatzalas Nefashis is a beautiful organization to save lives. What?
Take down the video.
He's asking my dreams. Are you kidding me? You're gonna take that down?
The positive dreams are knowledge, love, creativity, accomplishment, doing things, not escaping doing. This is what I want to build. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to know. This is what I want to experience. like a little kid. When you're davening to Hashem, you should be like, there was a time in your life where you used to prepare your clothing before you went to sleep. Probably on a Chol Hamoed trip, or when school went on a Lag BaOmer trip. Like, what were the big days, you know? So you had your snack ready and your baseball glove already prepared, whatever it was. I knew every Sunday, I was like 2 years, I was in like a little league. I waited, like, the whole week was just for Sunday. Like, everything was built around Sunday. And I would go to sleep and everything appeared, and I lived for this. It's exciting. That's what davening is supposed to be. You're supposed to daven like just overflowing with giddiness. Are we there? Are we there yet? Like big wide eyes. But everyone's playing defense. And even when we use words like askenas, I don't like those words. Because most of those things that we want are alibis. They're things that allow me to stop feeling like a nebuch. I'm a somebody. No one's going to look down at me. It's just getting rid of other pains. Most people are just trying to prove something to themselves. It's not really what they want. This is where it gets complex, because it gets complex when you talk about dreams of popularity and covet, fame.
So basically
Are
you can
those
never
dreams
ask for money.
escapes or are they things? Are they hammocks? What?
Basically, you can never ask for money.
No, money's amazing. Money's one of the
Depends why.
best.
Depends for
Money's
what.
one of the best feelers. But you better have a list of what you want, and not what you want to remove.
The question is why? Why do you want the money?
You know, you talk to Hashem
You
about
have to be
that.
a real
Talk to
Justin
Hashem.
if
Did
you
you ever? I used to doodle when I was a kid, like layouts of my dream house. If you have a dream of what you want your house to look like, so tell Hashem. Hashem loves that stuff. I'm telling you, Hashem had more nachas. It's going to sound so radical. He had more nachas from me doodling on the sides of my Gemara. My dream, because my parents took me 1 year to Chol Hamoed. We went to the Vanderbilt Mansion in Hyde Park, New York. And it blew my mind. It's a different hasagas of what a house could look like. It had like a light well. It was like just really cool. It was a cool thing. I never thought of these things. And I would just like draw pictures of my house, and then I started to look at other things and include different cool ideas of my house, and I would dream about my house. So when I was sitting there pointing my finger to the page, so what was I doing then? I was being a good, sedate, tamed little boy. And when I was drawing this, I was dreaming of Hashem, of life and what my life's going to be like. Which one gives Hashem more nachas? It's a crazy chiddush to say.
It's radical.
But Hashem had far more nachas when I was drawing on a thing. He's looking at this guy. Maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the guy. I'm waiting for someone who's dreaming, who sees my world as exciting, and not one more tame guy. You know? Now, really, you can learn because it's exciting and everything makes sense, and you could. But most people who are learning, now, I'm not knocking that, because the world is so messed up that creating domesticated, tamed kids is probably the safest way to go. So I'd rather sacrifice certain godless, because if I don't and I just follow the program of the world, every fourth kid will not know what gender they are. You know, the world's a total mess. So we create this separate world with our own structure, and we keep people in this thing, and the kids will turn out healthy. They're not done. But what we assume is when Hashem has his ways, when Hashem is ready, he'll light this guy's fire. You're not done. In a way, it's... I don't know if I told you this before. I'll tell it to you right now. It's a good way to... It's a little bit of a tangent, but it's for this thing's parsha. Pekudei. It's very hard to say Chedushim and Pekudei because we did everything already for the last 4 weeks. All the Klei Mishkan, and if you... But everyone's very busy. Like the modern Torah is to talk about, the thank you Hashem type Torah is to talk about the Choshen. The Choshen's so beautiful. It's like 12 different beautiful stones, and every shevet has their own stone. And you're a shevet, and you're a stone, and you're special, and you're individual. Like this is the modern Torah. And I'm not knocking it. You know, it's a little bit overplayed. What?
Fooled me.
No, it's a little overplayed and a little bit, cheesy already, but it's a valuable lesson for people who didn't hear it, right? But what's deeper is, it's nice that every single Shevet has their own colorful stone. Everyone's valuable. And that's deep. It is deep. It's deeper than we take it, It's not that you're special. Everyone's a different color and a different gem, and all the gems are valuable, but different types of value. If you play it out till the end, it's a deep talk. But on the other hand, there were two other stones. They were the Avnei Shoyam, which were on the shoulders. And they weren't colorful. They were black stones. And you didn't have one name on the Avnei Shoyam. You had 6 names on each one, grouped together. So the names of every Shevet was written twice on the Kohen Gadol. Once on his heart, on the Choshen, and once on his shoulders. On the heart, every Shevet has their own stole, which is his own color, and on the shoulders, they're all lumped together. Because there's 2 aspects to life. There's that nice emotional feel-good part of life where everybody's special. But then there's also shoulders. Shoulders are what? It's like just suck it up and do what you gotta do. And the shoulders are black stones, also valuable, but there's no you. It's all a team. Everyone's together on one stone. And you have to know that there's 2 different sides of Yiddishkeit. Some groups in Klal Yisrael just talk about the shoulders. It's all about duty and responsibility and achrayas and to keep your finger on the place and suppress your personal, don't doodle your layouts of your dream house in the margins. And then some people talk about the colorful stones, and there's no understanding of a purpose and mission and whatever. But the shleimus is to know just both. But there's one extra step. That's why I'm telling you this now. The extra step is lo yizach hachoyshen me'al ha'ephod. The choyshen was attached to the kisvos ha'ephod, and there's a halacha. It's not allowed to move off the ephod. That's in this expression. Lo yizach hachoyshen. What does that mean? That means that this lovey-dovey choyshen, it only can be when you already first had the ephods with the shoulder straps and avnei shoyam. When you polish the shoulders and you got the shoulders down pat and you're a balachrayas and you wake up in the morning and you do everything, now you can talk about choyshen. But the choyshen doesn't come first. The choyshen can't leave the ephod. And it's a huge yesod. I had the same yesod also because I'm going to say it in 2 ways because it's such an important thing to understand that it's worth saying it in stereo. Parshas Ekev starts off Ekev Tishmon, via Ekev Tishmon, and it ends off, the last pasuk says, if we do all this stuff in this whole parsha, then Kol Mokem Asher Tidrach Kaf Raglochem Lochem Yu. Every place that the kaf regel, the palm of your feet step will be yours. So it sounds like a poetic, bookends. It starts off with the Ekev, and it ends off with the kaf regel. The Ekev is the heel, right? And the kaf regel ends off. But when you think about it, it's not the same, the Ekev and the kaf regel. Not only is it not the same, they're really opposites. The Ekev is the callous part of the body. The hardest part of your body is the Ekev, because you step on it, and it's right. The things that you trample, Ekev Tishmon, right? Ekev is the nachash bites on ikvei asus. The Ekev is the hard, callous part of you that feels nothing. The Indians didn't wear shoes; they had calluses on the bottom of their feet. But the kaf regel, the palm of the feet, is the most sensitive part of the entire body. When you want to tickle a little kid, if you're not worried about getting in trouble, right, Nebuch, if you want to tickle a kid, you tickle him in his kaf regel. That's the most ticklish part, the most sensitive part in the. So what's the vart? It sounds like a nice mystical thing that the hardest part of the body and the softest part of the body are right next to each other, right? But it's not a mystical thing. What's the real vart in that? Why does the parasha start with Ekev and end off with kaf regel? What's the relationship of the Ekev to the kaf regel? What? The reason why the kaf regel is so sensitive is, you know why? Because the Ekev takes all the contact and the kaf regel never touches the ground. It's an art. It's arched. Because the front of the foot, the ball of the foot and the heel, make all the contact, they get hard, and then the soft, and now the akev could be so sensitive. It's not Kabbalah, it's the most real thing in the world. So the way, I'll say it to a third way, okay? This is the way I always start with. I just didn't remember it now, till now. This is what you learn in yeshiva, two opposite approaches to life. You see, like we've all heard 100 times that yeshiva is like the teva, and the world is a mabel. And we have to escape the mabel to the world of the Oloi Shel Torah, the safe place. So the whole world is bad, and you have to escape to this world where there's no tumah and shmir seinayim and all these things. That's one mahalach. But then there's another mahalach in Yiddishkeit, which is the opposite. What's the purpose of life? Is that is a Kadosh Baruch created an amazing world, and he's a meitif, and just open your eyes and experience and learn and grow. And which is the mahalach? Are we supposed to run away from an evil world to the only safe place, safe in this Olei Shel Torah? Or is it the opposite? That the whole world is curled up in front of their TVs and in their clubs, and we're hiding from life, and we're supposed to be in the Gan that Hashem created. Is the outside world bad, and we're supposed to be running away from it, or is the inside world bad, and we're supposed to be expanding? It's literally two different Torahs. So what's the answer? We know they're both true. So if we know that Hashem created a magnificent world and he wants me to see the world and learn and grow and experience, so then why do they tell us that we should run away to the teva? What do you know? Can you figure out the answer?
Only there, only above that level.
What do you mean? I thought you were going to say, you said to start with the right words.
Only in that situation where it got that bad. Otherwise, you be alright.
Listen, they're both always true. The world is amazing and the world is messed up. They're both true.
The Torah only told Noach to go to Teva. Nobody else. Everyone else is supposed to be.
Noach was the only person worth surviving. Everyone else drowned.
No, in all other parts
there would have been other
the world
people.
wasn't bad enough to do a model.
No.
Only in
you think so?
Only
no,
in
Hashem promised he wouldn't do it again. He didn't. Not that anyone got better. It probably got worse. Just Hashem and Havtacha. He's not destroying the world. We may have Mabel anymore. The answer is so important. It's like the most important answer. And all three verlich are the same. The kisvoi se'efoid and the chayshen, the kaf regel and the akev, and you should be able to figure it out at this point. I'm giving you three identical verlich.
It goes together. You have to go and be outside and be anchored inside.
What does that mean?
Because you're anchored inside, you have the ability to go outside.
So what does that mean?
You can say the words. You can tell.
No, let's do it. Let's work it out.
What does that mean?
Of course the goal is to see the world. Of course the goal is to be sensitive like the kaf regel and experience everything. But the only way that you could have a kaf regel is if you have really strong akevs that protect you. The only place that you could actually see the whole world clearly is from safe in the teva. In the outside world, you get destroyed. It's a world that just drowns out everything valuable. When we don't go into the table because we're trying to escape the world. We're going to the table because that's the only place that you'll keep your eyesight. It's the reason why do people wear sunglasses? Why do you wear sunglasses? Because you want to block your vision? No, because you want to be able to see. And your eyes will get ruined. The reason why you go into the teva is because it's the only place that's safe to see the world. The outside world will destroy you and you'll lose your whole vision. The only way that you could have a kaf regel and you can be so sensitive is because you have, it's a pasuk, ki chizak brichei shoroyach beirach banoyach bekirvech. When you strengthen the bolts of your gates, then your kids will be gebenched inside. We don't want kids that are clueless and dumb. But in order to have kids who can think and be giggly and excited is you have to have very strong walls to protect them. Because
What point
otherwise,
do you break out?
what?
At what point do you break out?
You don't break out. You live with the view. You get a telescope or whatever it is, binoculars. You live with the view from the world of the clearest place to. This is the soundbite. The clearest view of the universe is from safely behind the walls of Torah. It's not that we're not supposed to see the universe. It's the only place you can really see the universe. The only way, the best muscle is the kaf regel. The only way you can have such sensitive kaf. What would happen if you didn't have a heel? What would the kaf regel be?
Yeah.
What? It might be a little not as hard as a heel because it'll be distributed across the whole feet. So the heel will be less tough, and the ball will be less tough, and the middle will be, but it'll be like everything will be a little bit rougher. But when you have strong walls, then the middle can be so innocent, and you can tickle it. You can feel things that no one ever imagined you could feel. You can only talk about the beauty of individual stones and everything because you have the kisvei seifert, because you have shoulders that can suck it up and do what you have to do. The first thing is to learn, and that's what I'm saying. The first thing to learn is how to sit there and keep your finger on the place in the Gemara. Not to draw pictures of your layouts, even though the picture layouts are beautiful. But the picture of the layouts, that's Choshen Torah. And Choshen Torah without an ephod first is worthless. As much as I can glorify it now, and people listen to it, they love it, because people love to mess with the system. But the system's a lot smarter than we think it is. Everyone turns to mush from Choshen Torah. And everyone is bothered by Avnei Shoyam Torah. But Lemaisa, the Torah knows that. The Avnei Shoyam aren't attractive, but it's the Avnei Shoyam that allow the Choshen to be. The Choshen can only be the Choshen because it's Leizach Ma'al Ephod. The soft heel, the soft thing only comes because you have a hard callus. The view of the world that you can have is only because you're safe in yeshiva.
It's funny, that Askan were the one that brought the knockers, were the ones that made the
The clappers, the people who shoulder the burden. Rabbi,
Rami.
we got to get a room in the hotel. If you find out how he got it, what?
Text Jacob.
Jacob's the one who did it?
Jacob's always the one who negotiates everyone.
Okay.
You have his number?
Yeah.
We'll get it for you.
I'll let you. Yeah. See, this
Poor guy's gonna watch this year in 5 years.
and what?
Some guy's gonna be watching this on YouTube in 10 years.
We'll know what we're talking about. Yeah, it's a little bit low energy. It's like a gem.
Right.
It's a gem share. What?
Yeah, true. They can't see behind the camera.
What do you mean?
They can't tell that.
But that the whole thing is low energy. Well, no, they feel I'm not. We didn't get into it or something, but it's important Torah. Just to make it a little political, like I didn't hear this. It's my own Torah. I'm making this up, but the whole Uman thing took off. Why? You know what the secret of making a shul successful in town is? How do you make a shul successful?
Biggest cash.
Better food than the other shul. You have food a whole day in the shul, you will have a full base medrash. And so when Uman became like a food man, Shiner made it into a food. Shiner made Uman what it was always big, but Shiner made it huge. And he put huge amounts of money, and he made it very. And the world needed Breslov.
But they're paying $2,000 to get a piece of kugel. It doesn't add up. Doesn't have to add up.
What do you mean?
Flights are very expensive. Everything costs money over there.
I understand, but I think he paid for all the food for free.
No, he's saying that a guy is paying $2,000 for flights and trains and going away from his wife
Could
for
have
a
made his own
summer.
kiddush.
All to get a piece of cocoa?
Or it doesn't have to make sense.
No, it's a different vibe in shul. Whatever is, I hear. I'm not making it into like an economical decision.
Right.
To me, it's just a matzah, a shul with food.
I got you.
People want to go. It is.
I got you.
Shiner put unbelievable efforts into. He grew up regularly yeshiva. Went to Rav Paler. You know, like.
Why do you do it?
So I'll tell you like this, and then all of a sudden now, the guy who bankrolled the whole Uman is now all of a sudden Adir Atera. What's Pshat?
Got bored.
I don't think he got bored.
On to the next one.
He's
It could be,
helping out
listen,
the tzibur.
boredom's a real design to everybody, but I think it's something deeper.
You know
I
that?
doubt he'll admit it.
You know the guy?
Yeah. I don't know him.
So this
you
is
know,
going
perfectly.
on the tube.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about him. I think what I'm going to say now is actually a shevach. I'm also a big Breslov guy. I'm not knocking Breslov, but I love Breslov. I probably wouldn't be alive without. Like Breslov is the deepest Torah in the world. Maybe Ishbitz is better. I don't know, but they're both up there. It's amazing Torah, and it scratches most like a lot of my itches. You know.
go to Uman?
What?
You go to Uman for a shot?
I never went to Uman, but I.
Never at all.
So you don't believe it? You just like.
Should we make a
I
trip, by the way?
swear-
Just
no,
let's
I
make a
swear
Uman
to-
trip. Not Rosh Hashanah.
I think that's the real Uman. I don't believe Tafay the Zara, not Tafay the Zara, but the real thing is the Svarim. You learn the Kuti Halachas from Rab Nosson. It's
Nos is one that's safe to go to Uman, not Rachman.
what?
Nos is one that's safe to go to Uman.
I'm saying, but that's already like getting all mystical. The beauty of Breslov is not the kever. The beauty of Breslov is the Torah, is the Havana, is the thing that he opened up to the world that people didn't chap. All these ideas and these things that address parts of the neshama that weren't scratch all the itches that weren't scratched. But I think what happens is that he realized that he's doing Uman for how many years already? And everybody's exactly where they were all those years. We didn't get Gedolei Olam from all this stuff. Nothing changed. There's a lot of guys going to Uman feeling very close to God and coming back with their same struggles. And he came back and he realized that the place where things happen is in Lakewood. As much as Lakewood is limited.
Where's he going to go in 10 years from now?
No, but he came home. He came to the real place. And neither one's perfect. But what happens is that he understood that it's beautiful to draw home layouts on the side of the Gemara. It's not bad. That there's a part of the neshama that's crying out to be felt that wasn't being addressed in yeshiva.
He's still doing Uman.
I don't know, but the word is that he realized that I need a legacy. I don't want to waste. It's nice to be a hospital. It's nice to give chizuk, but I want Paris. And the Paris come ultimately, if you're going to invest somewhere, ultimately the Paris come from the people who have gotten the shoulders down pat. The ephod has to come before the choshen. Uman is kol kulei choshen.
So what he really has to do,
What? He went home. He went
what
home.
he has to do is he has to take the guys from Uman and put them in BMG and take the guys from BMG and put them in Uman.
Listen, whatever it is.
not enough money for that.
Whatever it is. But listen, everyone understands, not everybody, but it's easy to understand that the choshen is far more beautiful than the Avnei Shoyam. Nobody's arguing with that. The choshen is the choshen. You know, when kids get dressed up as a Kohen Gadol, most of them don't even have anything on it, don't even know what's on their shoulders. They have it sits and a choshen, you know? Bottom line is as beautiful as the choshen is, it doesn't work without the ephod, without the kisvei ephod. And that's Lakewood's the kisvei ephod. And you have to be able to. It's a very big thing to be able to realize that. It's a godless of him. Again, I'm reading in all these things. I never discussed it with him, you know. But I feel the same with myself. I went through a tekufa like that, and where I was always a kirk. I was always forced to be a defender of the system. So I never really broke with the system. But my heart was in a certain other place, and I you know, that one schus kiyum I have, like the reason why whatever I can live in Lakewood, I'm happy here. Is my schus kiyum was I always did. I saw real tzaddikim, real gedolim. I believe in the system. So like I never had the gaiva that just because I had a deep thought, I think I knew better than Rav Shach, Rebellia. The people who chapped how the world works, I always knew that they chapped. And when what I saw in the world didn't fit what I was hearing from them, I assumed that I'm missing something. I never made that step. Could be because I didn't have money, you know. So when you have money, that's when it gets to your head. But I didn't. like I didn't have that nisayon. So I believed in the system. I trusted the system, and I had these thoughts, and I figured out I'm going to figure out how it fits.
But isn't your whole thought that they have to blend? You can't have just.
But it's not. But it's not. It isn't blending. Blending is like this and like this. It's not blending. It's the shoulders come first.
Shoulders come first, and then the chesed. Where's the chesed?
I understand. So what you have to do is you have to say that where the world happens is in the kisvay seifod. Lakewood is the kisvay seifod. When you have strong shoulders, at one point you have strong shoulders. You say, "Listen, you have strong shoulders. You can start to hang some stuff from them.
So,
like use the shoulders. Like don't waste them. Like you have big. When you see someone with big shoulders, what do you say? You know, can you carry this for me? You know, like let's see what we can tie to you. We hang off your shoulders. So, but the word is the investment. Does it make sense that a responsible gvir will come back to an Adiri Torah event and realize this is where I want to invest my money? That everyone needs both sides, but it's more shchiach that I'm going to get the Olam HaTorah to become more deep and to expand their mind a little bit, to have deeper. It's easier to hang a chayshen off of your ephod than it is to somehow recreate an ephod from a chayshen. And listen, there's nobody more geschmack than Breslov Chevra, you know. But it's frustrating after a while, you know. As was, now what, you know? Now what? It shouldn't be. Again, I'm not knocking Breslov or building up Lakewood. The Rebbeinu Shalom wanted the Klal Yisrael to have both. It's not. There is no choice Chayshin or Ephod. The answer is always both. But I'm just saying, in priorities, the Chayshin comes before the Ephod. Lo yizach Chayshin al Ephod. The Ephod. You need the kaf regel is created from the.
Right. The yizach chesed is saying the chesed has to be there. Meaning you can't go without the chesed. It's not saying you can't go without the ephod.
It means
saying
both.
really.
It works both ways. That the ephod without the chayshen might just be dry and sterile and unexciting, and you could give drushes both ways. But the point is that the ephod is the background. The ephod is the foundation, and the chayshen is the additive. It's hung off of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you, I was mechaven to my son played me. I always used to say, I'm not a bucky in these farm, you know. I quote here and there, but it's more because you learn it a little bit. You end up understanding how they talk, so you can a little bit like say this is this kind of Torah, you know. But I don't know all their Torah. But I knew that when I was learning all these Svarim, the two Svarim that scratched my itch were Breslov and Ishbitz. I always like Tanya is amazing, it's very deep, but it's very Litvish. It's like Chabadnik can hate when I say that. But it's Seicheldik, it's a lot it's like Ramchal's, but the two Svarim that are different is Ishbitz and Breslov. I have Torah what the difference is, but that was my Torah. I always said like nothing compares to Breslov and Ishbitz. So my son played me a recording. Calls me a recording from Shlomo Kalbach, his Mechavan. Shlomo was saying, somebody interviewed him and he's saying something like this. I don't know, it was a few years ago. He's saying that Litvish Torah is food for your brain, Chasidus is food for your soul, and Breslov and Ishbitz is drugs. That's what he says. So,
in case of emergency.
What? So he felt whatever it is. I mean, that's the way he was mocked at it. But I also thought that it did something. I don't know if that's what it is, but obviously he was a bigger bucky in these things than I am. So obviously there's a uniqueness in Breslov and Ishbitz. The Meishlet, you learn the Meishlet.
I just met
the Beis Yaakov. The Beis Yaakov is like his son. It's much more Meirach. Or really like Reb Tzadok. So Reb Tzadok is a Talmud.
I just met Rizina Rebbe. It's like a related.
Rizina is the next star.
Right. So he just gave a share Monday night. He was.
What's his liner? What's his name?
Liner, yeah.
Wow.
We got mad. It was
It was good stuff. It was.
wild.
Anyways, so what's the maskana? What are we saying? Let's just wrap it up. What this message?
Tefillah. You have to know what you
It
really
wasn't so much a tefillah talk. What did we end up doing? How did we get it from tefillah?
Because you have to know what you really want.
I sound like I'm
wanted
not.
the house. You
What?
wanted the house.
Who?
Tefillah, you're saying you have to know what you really want, and you had Shiva. You wanted the big house.
So what's the perfect feel?
And the big house is the.
Oh, so
chiddush.
you go. So the tefillah is, again, it's not fair to do tefillah like this. This is one niche in tefillah. You know, there's a big problem when you want to give a shir on something so huge. You know, there's different tefillahs. There's tefillah to Hashem and tefillah to Elikim, and then there's tefillah to Hashem Elikim. That's already 3 whole different types of tefillah. If I was starting an authoritative series on tefillah, that's really we have to start. You have to understand you're communicating with God, but there's different manifestations of God. Sometimes it's Hashem, sometimes it's Elikim. There's other Shemais, but the Iker Shemus, you know, unless you're doing a 2-year series of Shirim. If you're doing basic series of Shirim, you're doing Hashem, Elikim, and Hashem, Elikim. Those are the primary modes of tefillah, and they're very, very different tefillahs. So, and tefillahs, you're looking to accomplish different things in din and rachamim. But we were doing one niche in tefillah, and that is the honesty of tefillah, the connection of being real of tefillah. The Rishonim say it by why the Imahis were Akaris, and Hashem Kodesh Baruch Hu is Mis'avil the Tefillos and Shal Tzadikim. What does that mean? It's not that Hashem wants to hear our tefillas and therefore He gives us tzaras. That's how we learn it as kids. Hashem gives you hearts, He wants your tefillas. No, Hashem wants you to experience the relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom that tefillah is. So therefore He has to give you tzaras so that you will talk to Him, so that you'll end up with that kesher. Life without that kesher is... Anyone who's gotten there, I mean, unfortunately, the way most people get there is through tzaras, you know. But anyone who got there will tell you. I'll tell you myself. Like whatever tzaras I went through, it was not easy, but I would go through it 100 times just to get to that place. That okay, now it's easy to say because I don't even remember tzaras, but. I'm a guy. It's so good to be a guy. but even b'shas ma'isa, like even b'shas ma'isa, it was like I was in such pain, but it was the best moment of my life. Best moments of my life was, and if I never would have gone through that pain, I never would have had the desperation to like come clawing at Hashem. You know, when you like I got to this Havana of you know what Yiras Hashem is. We all know there's different levels of Yira and Ava, and there's Ava Yira that's higher than Ava Yiras. So you know these Yiras, Ha'inish and Yiras, Haraimus. There's so many other levels. There's a point where the Yira and the Ava is almost the same. There's almost no difference in Yira and Ava. I can't even tell. I'm sure I'm not even at like the level, 50 levels from the top. But the levels that I identified, I remember feeling it. I thought it's such a chiddush that there's a level of yira where you feel like I'm so scared that this feeling is going to end. Is that yira ava? You know, it's a deep yira. Like Hashem, Hashem, like don't let go. Like I'm so scared Hashem's going to let go. It's so amazing. It's a very, very high level of yira. You know, it's not even awe. It's just I can't live with the thought that I'm ever going to go back to this other life where you don't feel like dovuk to Hashem. You know, like don't let go. You know, so that hergish is very, very deep. So it's the bracha to get to that place. You know, to get to that place. And unfortunately, the way we usually get there is through tzaras. And if you never had tzaras, then you didn't get there. It's not your fault, you know. Maybe there are other ways, but that's the way most people get there, unfortunately. You know, if anyone figures out how to get to that place in Simcha, probably the most important sefer in the world, to write that sefer. You know, there's ideas. I could tell you ideas, but you know, that's what Haidah really is. Haidah is Maidim is this feeling of such deep appreciation, the realization that what you have is such a gift and it's like so vulnerable to that Kodesh Baruch Hu, like what he does to me, like that's almost the same thing as tsar, the fear, but you have to totally chop like how lucky you are. Like I'm not feeling it right now, but when times when I felt it, the word that I was thinking was like the phrase is, it's like when Hashem gives you bracha, you get to a point where you go like the negative side is like, oh, Hashem hold me. When you know what the positive side is, like Hashem, like me, you did this for me, like me, like that word is almost the same hergish as Hashem hold me, as the tsar. You know what I mean? They're so real, but that Hashem for me is a way you can get. That's what a goal that you can get to without tsar. It's such bracha, and you're so humble and so you feel so. I don't know what the word is even. It's so humbled. It's so appreciative. It's so in awe of like what did I do to deserve it? Like how come? Like me? Like you did all this on me? Like you're a Rebbeinu Shalom and like don't you have other things to do? More important things to do than take care of me? Like that kind of thing. That hergish is that you can get to that devekus of tsar through vulnerability, but not negative, like through being able to be moideh to the appreciation. Haidah. Anyways, and how we got to this?
So we're talking about
But-
what Tefillah is.
So that's a dvekus of tefillah. It's one part of tefillah.
So we need mice or cars.
What? Yeah. So I'm saying the reason why was not that Hashem wants your tefillahs. Oh, and that's the words. But Hashem doesn't need anything. Doesn't need our tefillahs. We need that Hashem should make us daven. Because we're the beneficiaries of that relationship when you're forced to approach Hashem in that with your hat in your hand. Anyways, so yeah, okay. I mean, I don't feel like I did either of these things properly, but that's the nature of this format.